Abandonment is something that I've dealt with for the last however many years. It's something that I still don't really understand. I don't really understand, I guess, the psychology of how you can be so close to somebody and such good communication with them to all of a sudden the tides change and I don't know what the fuck I did to deserve it. When people just leave me on red for months on end or just drop any efforts of communication, any purposeful efforts of communication, it just hurts, to say the least. And not knowing why or not knowing any answers just not only makes it not hurt any less, but it hurts more. Like, it hurts a lot more. With some cases, I can at least understand why. Like, I'm a very broken individual who has a pretty spotty track record of acting impulsively and with volatility, and sometimes that just drives people away. And I've been at least lucky that some people have let me know why, and I appreciated it a lot. But sometimes I just don't get that answer, even from people that I really loved and cared for with all my fucking heart. Even to this day, people that I think about every single day when I'm like thinking about all this. And I don't know why half that communication just stopped. And it's not something that's easy to move forward from. In fact, it's the opposite. Many goddamn times I've dug up through my archives, my Discord DMs, my text messages, my Snapchat messages, trying to make any sort of sense or connection as to why these people that I fucking love just decided to pause all communication. And 99% of the time I don't end up with a fucking answer. And the hard part is I could very easily reach out to these people and try to get answers, try to reconcile, and get all the info I need as to why it happened. Like, that's not impossible. But the problem is my anxiety brain takes over, and I think, well, if they've left me on red for this long and they haven't made any concerted effort to reach back out, then even to see if I'm okay, like, how do I know that reaching out to them will get me anywhere? Sometimes it hasn't. Sometimes when I've tried reaching out to these people, I don't get it. I get very either vague answers or I don't get an answer. Keep in mind that I'm not talking about cases where they were the last person between our dialogue to say anything. Well, at least not all of them, because I know that in a lot of dynamics, in a lot of duos, that some people, different people in different dynamics are more inclined to engage more than other people are, and that's fine, I guess, but I'm more so talking about the cases where I'm the one that's being left on red. And it feels like to normal people that's an easy fix. Like, all you gotta do is send a text and say, "You mad?" question mark. But as somebody who's gone through being abandoned by so many people that claim to be my friends and claim to like me, 80% of the people that have claimed to be my friends and claim to like me, it's not as easy. Even if these people say, like, I don't bite, you can talk to me about fucking anything, it's hard. Because when we've been distant for so long and there's no concerted effort of communication from the other end, then my assumption is that you're mad at me, and I don't really want to talk to people who are mad at me, especially when I don't know why. People often tell me when I talk about this, just make new friends, go find a new fucking community, and just forget about all these fake people that have ruined your life. And I mean, there's some truth to that, but it's just generally a very flawed mindset. And the only way I can really describe it is like, let's say you're making a skyscraper, and the first time you try to make it, it falls. It just falls to the ground. And then instead of getting a report on like exactly why it fell, you just say, fuck it, let's do it the exact same way. And what do you know? The next time you do it, the building falls again. And why did it fall again? Because you don't have an explanation as to why it fell in the first place. So it was destined to fall again the second time. So when you put it in context, I very well could just go over and start all over again, but I'm risking the possibility of the same exact fucking thing happening again with new people, because I don't know what I did. I never in my life really have just abandoned anybody cold turkey without giving them a reason why. In fact, there's a few times where I've done the opposite. I remember, unfortunately, and I hate going back to these examples, but one of these times I had a really good friend who turned out. So what normal people would do, normal people, I don't know, everybody's different in this case. What I did is I cut them off, obviously, but I gave them a long Google Doc explanation as to why. I don't know, people react differently to things like that, but I feel like shit abandoning people cold turkey without explaining why. Like, it feels wrong in my goddamn heart to do that. And then, just this past July, when I was dealing with my toxic roommate, I sneakily moved out of her house, but I also left a 5-page letter going into details as to why exactly I was making my decision. I encourage you, if you're watching this and you used to be my friend, or at least used to be in regular touch, whatever the situation is, if I did anything to make any of you drift away, I don't want to be grasping at straws, trying to figure out why it all came to an end, even a temporary end. I don't want to be left with questions as to why. Even if you think it's obvious, I know why. It's probably not as obvious as you think it is. Just talk to me. Like, my doors have always been open. My arms are always open. My ears are always ready to listen to any criticism. Like, I've not been one to shoot down genuine criticisms. Lies are different. If you lie about me, then it's almost certain that I will react. But there's really nothing to be scared of unless you're lying about me. I'm open to any criticism. That's the only thing I wanted for the last year, as I've progressively been abandoned by people. It's just for some fucking answers. I don't know. I'm not a perfect person. I've never claimed to be anything close. A lot of people that know me know that I'm not anything close. I'm still learning, even into the age of 19, in a matter of hours, how to be a better friend, a better human being. You may have seen me at a very volatile state in my life, in my teen years, where I acted very out of touch, but I don't want that to define my legacy in your eyes. Like, I don't want that. I don't want this angry, volatile, explosive persona that I'm sure a lot of you associate with me to be the thing that you imagine when you think of me. That's not at all what I think. Especially to those of you who I've had contact with through Discord, through Twitter, the people that I've met in the last couple of years. I don't want that to be the persona that I put in front of you, because I do still like a great majority of you, and if I don't, then I will make that pretty clear. But that's such a little percentage of people. I love the majority of people that I've met. Some of y'all are the most creative, inspirational people that I've ever met in my whole fucking life. And I don't know how to put it in words to describe truly how much I mean it. I've even told some of you how inspirational you are to me. So I don't fucking know. If there's anybody that I've had contact with through Discord, through Twitter, through any specific fandoms that we may have met through, if there's anything you want to tell me, just go ahead and do it. My Discord has been the same as it's been the last 3 years. Everything I have is under the same handle. Well, I mean, I primarily use Discord, Instagram, and YouTube. Anything else is probably very inactive. But just give me a DM. Anything to get an answer. It's been a few months since I've made a video, and it's for a good reason. I've been reflecting a lot on my life and my dynamics over the last few years. A lot of changes have been going on throughout my life that some of which I just haven't expected, for better or for worse. But I've definitely mostly been reflecting on my past connections with people. Very often I do look through my Discord DMs, my archives on social media, anything. Sometimes I'm in awe of how volatile I was back then. And I've been just trying to piece together why all these connections that I cherished just ended cold turkey. And it's rough having no answers. And hopefully this video will be the saving grace. And hopefully that after I turn 19 on the 17th, that some real reconciliation will take place and some answers will be had. Thank you.